So lately I've been thinking it's time to do a live stream on perfection. Yes, and it won't be just any live stream. It won't be just me sharpening a knife or me polishing a knife. I actually want to do a live stream where I repair a knife from A to Z, and I will announce a giveaway at the end of the live stream. I think that would be a lot of fun and it'd be really cool. And so I received a number of knives lately of just completely just battered with battered edges and just completely just abused. And so I'm going to do a session where we regrind the knife, reprofile the knife, make it as sharp as possible, give the knife a new handle. So I want to do all of that live. I will do some test sessions and see how long it will actually take me to actually repair a knife. But tell me what your thoughts are if you guys want to be part of that live stream where you watch me repair a knife from scratch. And also you can do live questions, Q&As. I can try my best to repair a knife and answer questions as we go, and then also do a giveaway at the end of the live stream. So please let me know in the comments what you guys think of that. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what times are best. I'm thinking on a weeknight, maybe on a Wednesday or Tuesday night at between 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., something in that range. I think it will take me at least 2 hours to completely reprofile, clean the knife up, and give it a new handle. Or if you prefer a Saturday morning, such as like a morning time from like a 7 to 9 a.m. Saturday morning, or 6 to 8 a.m., whatever it may be, leave in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. And if the first live stream is successful, I want to do one every single week, whether on a weeknight or on a weekend morning. I think it'd be a lot of fun to really interact with you guys live in real time, and really show you guys like what it's like for me to repair and put together a video. Again, there'll be no edits in these videos, kind of similar to what my videos are now, but you'll be watching them live. And yeah, so let me know your thoughts, and so enjoy the video. Okay, so a lot of folks have been asking about how I actually load my strops ever since I did my first how to maintain your knife on a daily basis video. And so today I've got a couple of things here to show you. And I'll show you guys in real time how I actually load my strops. And I'm going to try something a little different, which I have never tried before. Hopefully it'll work. Just bear with me. So I have three different types of stropping compounds here. So we're only going to focus on one of them, but I'll show you what they are. And so this is a DMT half micron spray. This literally is a diamond spray where it's the easiest to use. You still simply put your strop up, spray it a few times, and you're done. It's also by far the most expensive, so we're not going to talk about this today. The other option that we have is the paste. These are put in syringes for you, and you can buy them on Amazon, on eBay, and they are kind of the mid-range. They can range from like $5 per tube up to $20-30 per tube. So they're all also an easy option for you to use if you didn't want to pay the prices of like a spray bottle. But again, these are really easy to apply. This is also really easy to apply, so we're not going to talk about these today. The question that I get most about is how to use blocks, like actually compounds that come in block form, such as this is the NK white, and the last time I did the video was on the NK green. And so that's today's video. I'll do a comparison with all the other type of stropping compounds in a separate video. But today I want to focus on how to apply stropping compound in a block form onto a strop. Now these, keep in mind, were actually designed for things such as, I believe they're called lathes. And so basically it's a grinding wheel or a spinning wheel with a cloth wheel as opposed to like a steel wheel or a ceramic wheel. And so that cloth actually will just melt the compound onto the surface, and then you put your wood into it. Okay, so that's basically how these were designed for. The great thing about these is that they're really, really cheap. So a block of this is a 1 pound block. This costs between, I think, $7 and $10. So I will leave a link to the description to the exact block so you guys can actually see it. But they are really affordable, and for the fact that you can buy these for $10, you can probably load up 50 strops with this, versus these may cost you $20-30, and they will only load up maybe 5 or 10 stropping blocks. I haven't actually tested it out, so I don't really know, but I know that these will last a long time. So they do take a little bit more work to actually get started, but they will work. So without talking too much, I'm going to do the first process, which is how I loaded the strops the first time. Basically, it's just you're going to muscle it, and you basically just find your block and your strop. And one thing to keep in mind, just a really quick note, you don't want to mix or intermix your stropping blocks. So if you have 2 or 3 blocks with different grit of compound, you don't want to let them actually touch each other, because then you can actually cross-contaminate, and your grit levels will change. These are actually blocks that I've made, so I actually have a bunch of them laying around. If you guys are interested, I'll leave a link in the description below. Just click on the show more, and you can use any blocks, stropping blocks. You don't have to use these, but these are, I bought the highest quality leathers and woods that I can find locally. So they're grit blocks, but you can go to your local knife supplier, or you go to Amazon, eBay, and you can find them for between 15 to as much as like 80 bucks. Stay away from the really expensive stuff, because they don't really make your sharpening or polishing process any easier or any better if you're going to use a compound, because with compound you basically just need a good overall leather and a good overall wood base to keep everything kind of sturdy. So if you're going to be loading your stropping with compound, avoid the really expensive stuff. Just buy something that will work for you. Okay, so we're going to try right now. So this is basically the first way I did it. You basically just find a spot on your strop. So I apologize for not having the upper view camera, or the POV camera. Long story short, I'm changing up my gear, and the cameras were supposed to arrive a few days ago, and they have been delayed for some strange reason. So kind of annoying, but it'll work. And the reason I actually got rid of my camera, because I actually sold it thinking that the cameras were going to be here on time, and it didn't happen. So I apologize for that. But for those who who are unhappy with the video, I will make another video similar to this, not the exact same video, but I'll make another video of me doing stropping compounds with the POV cameras. Okay. All right. So this is my strop. It's a brand new strop. And these are cowhide strops, by the way. And the really expensive strops can use like horsehide. I hear that's also a really good option, but they cost like horsehide costs like $100 per square foot. It is extremely expensive, and so I really wouldn't bother with that. Okay, so basically you find your block, your compound block. I use stropping compound block, and you simply just rub. Okay, and it takes a little bit of time. And I'll show you what happens as you rub. And it really should only take a couple minutes to get this done properly. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there and show you. Cool, so this is what's happening. The compound is leaving kind of uneven streaks on the actual stropping block. Now, a lot of folks say that they're NK products, or there are other compounds out there. I think Bark River is also another brand. There's also, those are the two that I can think of. But right now, it's actually slightly flaky. Okay, so it's a little warm right now, so it's actually not too flaky, but a lot of folks have been emailing me saying, hey, my compound is really flaky. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to keep on loading this up to make it fully loaded, and then I'll show you what I do to make sure that the compound is very, very smooth. Okay, so it's also it's good for you to know that you don't have to fully load the entire surface, especially the edges. Don't worry so much about the edges. Make sure that you load the center of the compound, of the stropping block with the compound. So don't worry about the edges, because we'll get the edges with another process. Okay, so this is not fully loaded yet. What you can also do to make it a little bit faster is you can turn the stropping block, the compound block, onto it like a corner, so that you can get like a very fine point. That actually makes it heat up a little bit faster. Sometimes when you like try to flatten an entire side, it actually requires a lot of muscle. And so what you can do is simply just go on the corner and just move the corners around. That actually makes it pretty easy. Okay, so this is a fair amount of load here. It's not a lot, but I'm gonna stop here and show you what to do next. Now, a lot of folks, this is where a lot of folks email me or message me on YouTube and Facebook. They say, hey guys, so this is like, Ricky, like my block is completely like ugly and the compound's not sticking on and everything's very uneven. This is how you solve the problem. You take a bit of mineral oil if you have some. These are cheap. If you don't have mineral oil, just go to the local pharmacy and go to the laxative aisle, and these cost like $2 or $3. Oh, this is too much. $2 or $3 for a 16-ounce bottle, and they're really handy. They're great for that. They're great for a lot of different things, but they're really handy for using on the sharpening block. So you simply apply a dab, okay, a little tiny drop of it onto your block, and you simply rub. Now what this does is it actually will soften up the compound. Okay, it's going to take just a little bit of time here, and you might have to reapply some more oil. Okay, so it's starting to soften up just a little bit here, and you can feel your fingers actually getting warm doing this. Okay. So it's kind of hard for you to see right now, but what's happening with the block is that it's really starting to break down those uneven layers of the sharpening compound. And though the color doesn't really show you from there, but from my hand, it's very smooth at this point. And from here, what you can do is you can take your compound and you can go back to the surface, because now that it's actually been loaded or been kind of prepped with the mineral oil, the compound actually is a lot easier to apply. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit more here. Okay, so I'll stop there for a minute. Go back to this. And I'm wearing gloves, not because anything's poisonous, but because I just didn't want the compounds on my hand, because I'm doing a lot of different videos today, and so it just makes everything a little bit cleaner for me. So as you can see here, the compound is becoming very even. And so yeah, again, you don't have to focus on the edges as you're rubbing. See how the compound is actually now a paste? I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually more of a paste now. And so that is what the tubes provide. So they provide everything that I'm doing now in a paste form. It makes it faster, but you're also paying for that process because it costs you a lot more money to buy the paste. But for some people, it's worth it. For those others who want to experience what it's like to strop on a leather block with compound, this is the cheapest way to go. Buying a $10 block and a cheap cheap stropping block. Okay, so this is it. This is done. At this point, you can actually polish your knife, and I'll do a really quick demo for you before we end the video. Okay, so now it doesn't look white. It's very brown because that's just the dye or the natural color of the stropping block coming off onto the white compound, and that's no problem. A little bit of discoloration, it's not going to hurt anything. So now the block is pretty much loaded. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it, which I have thought about, and you kind of have been seeing it here, is before we actually rub the compound onto the block, we preload it, or we pre-prep the surface with a little bit of mineral oil. So I'm going to try this process and see if it's actually any better than the original process. So we're going to add just a little bit here. And we will get the mineral oil onto the surface as even as possible. And now we'll apply the compound. Now it's going to take a minute to heat up, but just be patient. Okay, so now you can see that it's actually really starting to create a paste here. So we're getting very, very close. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit more oil. See, aren't you guys glad my videos are actually long and thorough like this? That way you actually don't miss anything. A lot of folks, not a lot, but a few people complain about videos being too long. But these are the important things that you sometimes can miss in a video that's highly edited, right? Everything gets cut out and you don't really know how he went from step A to step C, from C to F, right? You miss all those things. And so by me doing long videos like this, you can see everything. You can see how I mess up. You can see all my experimenting. Yeah. So, okay. So now I will pull some of the remaining compound from this block and apply it to the strop block. Okay. This actually works pretty nice. I think this actually works better because now we have a much more even coat of the stropping compound on the block. And you can, I'll show you guys in a second here. Let me get a few more rubs in. And the key thing with stropping compound is you don't need a lot. You just need a very thin layer of it on your block. And it actually works very, very well. And here we are. I think we are done here. Okay, so you can see, I mean, it's still a little wet. It's going to take a few minutes for it to dry. But you can see that they're both fully loaded and they're both ready to go at this point. And so I'm gonna wait for them to dry and then I'll do a really quick stropping demo for you guys on both of them and show you the differences. The quality should be the same for both knives, but they will just the block looks a little bit nicer over here where it's it's well evenly mixed. This here, it does look a little blotchy because I didn't spend a lot of time cleaning it up with the mineral oil. But this is how you load your stropping compound. So I'm gonna give them a few minutes to dry, and then we'll do a really quick stropping session. And so I might have to cut the video because I don't know how long it actually will take for this to fully dry. It might take a few minutes, it might take 10 minutes or so. So I know you guys would not want to stare at my face for 10 minutes doing this. Okay. Okay, let's see how we're doing. We're still a little wet here. Okay, yeah, and the waiting game. Yeah, I'm actually really curious. This is 0.5 micron from DMT's. 0.5 micron, I believe it's about 40,000 grit. Say what is it? 1/3 of a micron is 80,000 grit. So yeah, this is about a 50,000 grit spray, which is pretty crazy. That will leave a better than mirror polish on your knife's edge. And this is the Norton Diamond Compound. This is grade number 1. I don't know what that means. I should research. I should really research what I get from my suppliers. These were actually sent to me by sharpeningsupplies.com. They are really, really nice guys. And if you guys want just the largest selection of sharpening supplies and accessories, go to sharpeningsupplies.com. They are not a sponsor of my channel, by the way. They just were kind enough to send me a few samples of what they had. So really cool there. And this is NK. NK has been around for a long time. They specialize, they don't really advertise or market to knife people. They advertise to woodworkers and, fine woodworking people. And so I don't know who came up with this idea of using, compounds made for wood, but they seem to work fairly well. I think we're almost done here. Okay, so it's slightly moist, which shouldn't really be a problem. And so we're going to do a really quick cut demo here, and then we'll dull the knives and see how they will hold up. Okay, so both knives I think should be fairly sharp. Ooh. Anti-aging lips. Lipstick. Very nice. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so very, very clean. Slight skip, but that's okay. So the knives are fairly sharp. I don't know what these actually came from. I just grabbed them from my shelf, so I probably was playing with it at some point. So fairly sharp. Just a slightly rough area on the tip of the knife. This one here is sharp at the very top of the knife. So I think I was actually doing some cutting tests, some demos with this knife. So the bottom of the knife is kind of rough, and the top of the knife is a little bit smoother. So they're not perfectly sharp, which is actually a good thing, because then I can just do a stropping session for you and show you how they actually work. So we will leave this here. Okay, so this is the first block. This is the block that we used with the compound first, and then we put the mineral oil to spread out the compound, and then we applied a little bit more mineral oil, a little bit more compound afterwards. So this is the uneven block. So we are just going to strop really quickly here. You can go either way, tip to heel, heel to tip. I'm going to go from heel to tip this time. So we'll do, let's say, 10 strops on each side or so, give or take a few. I can't give you guys exact numbers because people just read my comments with, "You cannot count, you're terrible at counting." I am. I'm sorry for that. And also, I just got the NK block in. I don't really know what grit it is, and it doesn't really clearly say on the packaging. It says for light cutting action and coloring on aluminum, brass, copper, gold, platinum, sterling, or silver plate, and more. So in the range where it sits, it's kind of right in the middle. It's a little bit coarser than the green, which I actually really like. The green compound is really fantastic. But I didn't want to do another loading of the green compound since I already have a strop loaded with it. I think I have 2 strops loaded with the green compound. Now I have 2 strops loaded with the white compound. Great. Okay, so I think that was 10 strops on either side. And so we'll do a really quick test here and see how the knife feels. Yeah, you see that? Edge to edge or tip to tip. Super smooth. Back crease there. Okay, so you can see there with just 10 strokes on each side, that knife became much smoother, much cleaner on the cutting edge. So now we will do the strop that's more evenly loaded. This is what we used. We used the mineral oil first as a kind of preloader, and then when we did the compound afterwards. So let's we'll do the same thing, the same stropping method. and same knife, so hopefully the results will be very, very similar. Okay, I think that's 10. Let's hope it is. Sorry, I dropped my syringe. That sounds bad, doesn't it? My syringe. The only syringe I've ever owned besides these are baby syringes for medication. Okay, so I think this should be ready to go. Okay. Yeah, you see that? Look at that. Beautiful. Really clean edge. And that is really, really nice. Remember how it was actually, I think this knife is rough on the bottom half of the knife. So we'll cut the bottom half of the knife. Yeah, super clean. Oh, sorry, pretty lady. Didn't mean to ruin your face here. Yeah, but you can see right here, I mean, this is, like I said, that was roughly 10 strokes on each side, and it is working really, really nice. That really feels like, in terms of grit rating, I think this is right around 3,000, 4,000 grit. Right around there, give or take, maybe 1,000. But it's, I mean, it feels very, very nice. And looking at the edge here, it's not quite a mirror polish. So yeah, I would say right around 3,000 to 4,000 grit. It's really hard to equate grit when they are not in a more precise measurement, like a diamond spray or Norton's. They actually grade these for you. These, the NKs just give you a general guideline, but I can tell you that the white compound is really, really nice. It's actually really clean. So I'll move down the ladder, or up the ladder of the NK block, or blocks. They actually sent me all of their compounds. So I will be able to tell you exactly, or approximately, what grit is what color, or what color is what grit. But this is the white compound, and you can see here, that was just a really quick session of stropping. So both work really well. If you want a cleaner, move some of this away. So if you want a much easier experience of putting this compound on, I would first preload my stropping block with just a dab of mineral oil. If you don't have mineral oil, you can use cooking oil, vegetable oil, olive oil. I'm sure it'll work just fine. So just put a few dabs of it, and then you would just have to muscle, use a little bit of muscle to actually get the block warmed up. But actually, it applies a much more light but even coat on the block if you were to put or preload it with some sort of oil. But as you can see, if you didn't want to put the oil on first and you want to just use the muscle it in and get the stropping compound on the block first and then spread it out with your mineral oil, that works just as well. It's just a little bit less sightly to look at versus something like this. It's much more light, much more even, but it works just as well. All right, well, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you guys have any questions or comments, if you guys have any suggestions with other stropping compounds, or actually even other mediums, cardboard, if you guys have experience with cardboard, paper, I hear people are using like newspaper for their stropping, to load their stropping compounds on. If you are one of those people, let me know, and let me know what brand of stropping compounds you've used, and if I can pick them up, I will, and do a comparison with what I have. So that'll be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give away one of these blocks. I don't need 2 blocks of compound, so I'm gonna give away the nicer of the 2 blocks. What I'll do is I actually will reload the block before I ship it out. But if you are interested in winning one of these, leave me your comment. I'm gonna do instead of a lottery system, I'm gonna do something else. Tell me what is your favorite what should I do? Yeah, let's do something fun. Tell me about your favorite meal that you've had. I don't care who cooked it for you, where you ate it. Just tell me what your favorite meal was, and if I select your story as my my best read, keep it short. Keep it less than, let's say, 10 lines. Okay, you have 10 lines to tell me about your favorite meal, and I will read through all my comments. Just as you guys know, I read through every one of my comments, and if I select your story to be my, winning story of choice, I will contact you via message on YouTube, via private message, or I will reply to your comment and say, hey, drop me an email with your address. But either way, I will reach out to you, and I will give you one of these. So, all right, well, thank you guys, and so good luck to everyone. Thank you for being here with me. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I received a number of comments and emails this week about people saying that my videos aren't showing up in their newsfeed or not being emailed to them in notifications. In case you guys are subscribed, make sure you guys hit the notification button, which is a little bell next to the subscribe button. Without hitting that, you actually will not get notified for any updates on my channel. And so a lot of folks have been wondering where my channel is. Am I still actually making videos? I am. I have still been making weekly videos or bi-weekly videos. And I simply need to tell you that you need to hit the subscribe button and you have to hit the notification button to actually get updates on my channel. So I don't know why that is, why you have to double subscribe, but you have to. I think YouTube's just trying to make sure that all your subscribers are real subscribers, are not just automated. So they want to make sure that you click the notification button so that you don't get spammed from people that you subscribe to just because, for whatever reason. But yes, I still am making videos. You simply need to hit the little bell notification button next to your subscribe button in the video, and if you guys hit that, then you guys will get weekly notifications from my videos. Some people have also been telling me that they are automatically unsubscribed from my channel for some reason. I don't really know why that's the case, but if I look at my stats, I lose about 400 to 500 subscribers every 2 to 3 weeks, and I know that's kind of a crazy number, but that's true. And I don't know why YouTube is doing that, but I am losing tons of subscribers every single week. So maybe Google or YouTube simply just is making my subscribers work harder. Need to actively be not just subscribed but be notified of videos. So if you're not being notified of videos and you're not watching my videos on a regular basis, I think YouTube just kind of cuts you off that list and makes you reapply or makes you subscribe to my channel. So I don't really know why that's the case, but that has been the case for not just me, but a lot of other YouTubers out there. So if you guys are subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit the notification button. That hopefully will resolve the issue of you not being notified of my videos, and also you not be taken off my subscription list for whatever reason. Will this become your strop one day? You're gonna find a new home away from me, your creator, but that's okay because you're gonna find a great home somewhere else. You won't be in the mix with other dozens of strops that are just loaded, waiting for me to sharpen on. You will find someone who actually loves you and cares for you. So, good luck.